I've been waiting an eternity for this one because you have reached Red Steele's Historical Review. I'm your man, Red Steele, and today I'll be reviewing from Transformers Studio Series from Transformers 1 the movie, Megatron. Transformers Studio Series Megatron. But before I get to the actual review, I just want to go over some of the spectacular details on this packaging. Up front, here's a typical display window showing you both the figure and all the accessories inside. In the corner here, you have the Transformers 1 logo. In the other corner here, you have the Takara Tomy Transformers Generations logo. Alongside here, it says Transformers. In the middle here, you have this beautiful illustration of Megatron in his robot mode. And down here, it says Studio Series. Next to that, you have 114, which represents his number in this series. And down here, you have the Decepticon symbol and Megatron. Over here you have an 8+, which is the age requirement for this figure, and next to that you have the Hasbro emblem. Then on top of the packaging here, you have the Transformers 1 logo. Then inside the packaging here on the very top, you have the 114. Along the side here you have Studio Series, and next to that you have a profile shot of Megatron. Then down here it says it is a deluxe class figure. Then on the other side of the packaging here on the very top, you have the Autobot symbol, and down here you have a full profile shot of Megatron, and down here you have a Transformers Authentic logo. Down the back of the packaging here, in the very corner, you have big screen inspired scale detail backdrop. Then over here you have Transformers 1, and below it says Megatron, and down here it says Metropolis of Iacon. Then in the middle here you have all the figure's features, such as Megatron in his robot mode, Megatron in Cybertronian tank mode, and Megatron on his removable backdrop. Then over here you have the Hasbro emblem. Transformers Studio Series Deluxe Class Transformers 1 Megatron. Megatron was released October 2024 with the suggested retail price of $24.99, and he's available at all major retailers. Megatron was released along with the other Transformers Studio Series Deluxe Class Wave 26 figures, Gamer Edition Bumblebee, and Gamer Edition Decepticon Soldier. Megatron is a Transformers 1 inspired figure that converts into a Cybertronian tank mode in 24 steps. His accessories include his fusion cannon, 2 small cannons, turret base, removable backdrop, and instructions. Megatron stands 4.5 inches tall, and he is meant for fans ages 8 and up. Next, we're going to convert Megatron from his robot mode all the way to his Cybertronian tank mode. But the first thing you always want to do before you transform any of your Transformers, you want to remove all the weapons and accessories. I'm going to take his fusion cannon, unpeg it, and put it off to the side. Because the first step of the transformation, you go and take his arms and bring them out just like that. Straight it out, bring it out just like that. Because in step number 2, I want to take his legs now. I want to bring it out just like that and just like that. Because in step number 3, they want you to go ahead and bend the leg just like that and just like that. Because in step number 4, they want you to take his legs again and rotate them all the way around just like that. Go and do it to the other leg, just rotate it around just like that. Step number 5. You have his white pieces right there and right there. You have a hinge joint in the very top. Then what you're going to lift this white piece up just like that. Go and do it to the other side. Lift that white piece up just like that. So in step number 6, you get this foot right there. We're going to bring this foot all the way back just like that. Go and do it to the other side. Take this foot and bring it up just like that. Because in step number 7, get this piece right there and right there. Then once you go ahead and bring it down just like that. Go and do it to the other side. Take this piece right here, bring it down just like that. Because in step number 8, you got a pivot joint right there and right there. So I'm going to rotate that piece all the way around so that foot goes right into the leg just like that. Go into it to the other side. Take this foot now, rotate it up into the leg just like that. Because in step number 9, don't you want to just push it down just like that, kind of get it into the leg just like that. And this bottom piece right here, just bring it down just like that, and just like that. Step number 10. You want to go and pick Megatron up. You got this chest plate right here. You got this double jointed hinge joint right there. You want to bring this chest plate all the way down, just like this. Because in step number 11, then you're going to take the head, and you're going to rotate this around just like that. Because in step number 12, then we'll take this head now, and bring it right into his chest, just like that. Because in step number 13, then we're going to rotate the bicep around just like this. Go and do it to the other side. Take this arm and right at the elbow, you want to go and rotate the bicep just like this. Because you want the tank tread showing forward just like that. Because now for step number 14, you want to take this fist right here. You want to go and rotate it so it matches. So you got a tread going all the way across his arm just like that. Go and do it to the other side. Take this fist and rotate it so the tank tread matches just like that. Because at step number 15, we're going to turn Megatron all the way around. Right at the elbow joint, you got a porthole right there, you got a tab right there. You want to bend it at the elbow so it tabs right into place just like that. Go and do it to the other side, bend it right at the elbow so the piece tabs in just like that. Step number 16. You want to take Megatron now, you want to pick him up and turn him around. You got this backpack piece right here, you want to go and untab it. It's at the very top you have a hinge joint right there. You want to take everything and flip it over just like that. Because in step number 17, you got the shoulder joint right there and right there. You want to go and bring it up just like that. Bring it up just like that. Because in step number 18, kind of hold this piece down right here. You want to swing everything down just like that. Do that to the other side. Swing everything down just like that. Step number 19. On top of Megatron here, you see this little turret right there. Then once you slightly bring this turret up just like that. Because in step number 20, then once you go and take this turret and turn it all the way around just like that. Because in step number 21, you have this piece right there and right there. Then once you bring this piece down so it kind of covers this whole piece over here. And the nice thing is you got a tab right there, and a couple of slots right there and right there. So you want to bring this piece up so it clears the foot right here. We got this tab right here. You want to bring this down. Make sure it goes right into place. Just like that. Do that to the other side. You get this piece right here. You want to bring it down so it clears this foot right here. It's kind of tricky. You want to make sure it comes down and tabs into place just like that. Step number 22. We'll go and grab Megatron's fusion cannon and his arm cannon. At the end of the arm cannon, you got a little peg. At the end of Megatron's fusion cannon, you have a little porthole right there. We're going to plug this arm cannon right into the fusion cannon just like that. Because in step number 23, at the top of the fusion cannon, you got a little porthole right there. Now on the inside of the turret right here, you have a little peg right there. We'll take that fusion cannon now and plug that right into the turret just like that. Because in the 24th and final step, you have a porthole right there. And you have a porthole right there. Want to go and grab these little blasters. You want to plug them right in those little portholes just like that. Do that to the other side. Take that little blaster now and plug it right in that porthole just like that. And now you have Megatron in his full Cybertronian tank mode. Now that Megatron in his Cybertronian tank mode and on my display table, I just want to go over some of his play features and accessories. And I just want to warn you that there are probably going to be some Transformers 1 spoilers in this review because I will talk about some of the events that occurred during the movie. But getting right to Megatron's tank mode, he doesn't really transform or acquire the ability to transform until much later in the movie. Because he does that through acquiring a transformation cog. If you know a lot about Transformers lore, if you watch the original Generation 1 series, I think Season 3, they kind of touched upon the transformation cogs with Trypticon and Metroplex. I think one episode was called The Ultimate Weapon, where they're battling over each other's cogs and trying to get each battle station their cogs so they could transform into the robot mode and win the battle. And it was a pretty cool episode, where they really touched upon that theme in Transformers 1 because during a lot of the Transformers creation, Sentinel Prime removed a lot of the cogs from a lot of the Transformers and made them into miners. And the miners were much smaller robots, or the Transformers without cogs were much smaller robots than the ones with cogs. So later on in the movie, when Megatron acquires his cog, he increases in size and power, and he has the ability to transform into this tank. And Megatron rarely transforms into this tank in this movie, and when he does his damage, or he does whatever he has to do, and he goes right back into his robot mode. But this tank mode is very, very close to the animated model from from Transformers 1, the movie. Very, very nicely done. It's a cool alt mode. I mean, you can't really go wrong with Cybertronian modes because they're very sci-fi-ish. I mean, they're not really based on any real world vehicles, which makes their job very easy. The one gripe I have is the size, but I can see why they went with a deluxe size, because a lot of the cogless Transformers would be much smaller. So I mean, Megatron and Optimus Prime, Elita 1, and Bumblebee weren't that much larger than the cogless Transformers, and Sentinel Prime, which I'm guessing might be a Voyager class figure. I know his figure's already being produced, but I'm not sure what class he's going to be in. But I do know Optimus Prime, because I already have Optimus Prime, which I'll probably bring on later on, is Deluxe class. I know Bumblebee and Elita 1 will also be Deluxe class, and I'm not sure if they're going to bring in any of the background characters, but they are making the 4 core characters along with Sentinel Prime. But this figure is very nicely done. And the one beef I have with Studio Series figures, and this also carries on to Megatron, is there's no wheels on the bottom of this figure. So I would highly recommend not rolling this figure on any abrasive surfaces, because you are going to cause mold damage, and there's not even any pegs or any wheels to kind of lift it up. I mean, that's surface to surface right there. So I'm guessing that this version of Megatron is not meant to really be played with, and they expect maybe just collectors to buy this, because there is a mainline Megatron for Transformers 1, which is more meant for children. A little bit of a lower price point too, and I'm hoping they put wheels on that version of the figure, because these kids are going to be rolling this around outside the pavement and dirt and stuff, and you are going to damage your figure. But this figure is very nicely done. A lot of great mold detail, a lot of great paint detail. I noticed the end of the barrel here is painted out of that awesome metallic silver paint. Same for the turret right here. A lot of great mold detail. I love the blasters on the side. Just a great alt mode. And it's very, very, very close to what you're going to see in the movie. But I'm going to go put him on the table and rotate him around so you guys can see what it looks like from all angles. It's a very cool figure. I would highly recommend picking him up. And I'm not a big fan of the Studio Series until they brought out the 86 line. Now that Megatron in his robot mode and on my display table, I once again want to go over some of his play features and accessories. First, by talking about his small cannons. And Megatron comes with 2 of these small cannons. These small cannons have some cool detail. You get some details on the end right here. You get some details on the barrel right here. In order to arm Megatron with these small cannons, on the bottom of these small cannons you have a 5mm peg right there. Each one of his fists has a 5mm porthole. You just take this cannon and plug it right into one of his fists, just like that. I'm going to do that to the other cannon. You got this right here. You got the 5mm peg. Got a 5mm porthole. You just plug it right in just like that. And now you have Megatron armed with both of his small cannons. And I don't recall Megatron really using these small cannons in the movie. But if you did see, or you are sure that Megatron did use this as a weapon of choice, just leave a comment below. But according to the instructions, there's also a way to store these small cannons on Megatron while he's in his robot mode. You do that by turning Megatron all the way around. And on the side of his backpack right here, you have a 5mm porthole right there. And right there. You just grab these cannons, just plug them right in those portholes just like that. And just like that. And now you have Megatron with both of his small cannons stored while he's in his robot mode. I'm going to turn Megatron all the way around. But his next accessory I'm going to bring in is his arm cannon. And I do recall Megatron bringing out the arm cannon in the movie. And I kind of was a little disappointed because I thought this was going to end up being a replacement for the fusion cannon, which it wasn't. But this arm cannon has some great detail. You got the barrel detail right here, great mold detail. You got this turret detail right here, which is really cool. And it's painted out of like a metallic silver paint. So if you shine to certain angles of light, you got like a dull luster. But in order to arm Megatron with this arm cannon, you have this slotted peg right there. On both of his forearms, you have a slotted porthole right there and right there. And all you have to do is just plug that slotted peg right into that slotted porthole. And now you have Megatron armed with his arm cannon. Really cool. And it was one of his weapons of I do recall him using this in the movie where he was blasting away some of the I don't know what you would call them, Autobots, or some of the other Transformers that were fighting against Megatron, Optimus, Bumblebee, and Elita 1. But in order to store this weapon while Megatron is in his robot mode, you turn Megatron all the way around. You have this backpack right here. On the bottom, again, you get that slotted peg. Well, right here on Megatron's backpack, you have a slotted porthole, but you want to open it up and peg it in through the other side because that porthole goes all the way through. You want to take this little arm cannon. You want to make sure the barrel's facing out, and it's little notch that's cut out in the bottom of the backpack where this barrel sticks out. You want to kind of peg it right into place just like that. You want to bring the backpack, and you want to make sure it doesn't get unpegged like it just did. You want to bring it down. You want to clip it right into place just like that. And now you have Megatron's arm cannon stored while he's in his robot mode. Very, very nice. So the last accessory I want to go ahead and bring in is his trademark fusion cannon. And most versions of Megatron, through the course of time, whatever generation, has some sort of version of the fusion cannon. And this fusion cannon can be armed. You get this 5mm peg on the bottom here. And each one of his forearms has a 5mm porthole right there and right there. And you want to go and plug it in one of his forearms, and I do it on the right arm because that's where Megatron usually arms his fusion cannon. And now you have Megatron armed with his fusion cannon. And this fusion cannon, I mean, Megatron does not look complete. Let me take out the fusion cannon. I mean, he looks strange without the fusion cannon. Let's be real. But once you put that fusion cannon on, that's Megatron through and through. Nicely done figure. Lots of great detail done to this figure. A lot of love was put in this figure, and he's very, very faithful to the animated model of the Transformers 1 movie. Very, very nicely done. Lots of great mold detail, a lot of great paint detail. The only setback, and I feel a little disappointing, was, Megatron Optimus Prime should never be smaller than a Voyager class. I mean, Voyager class or Leader class. And I was a little disappointed that this figure was, this and Optimus Prime were both Deluxe class. But I get it, because in the movie, and spoiler alert, at the beginning of the movie, Megatron wasn't really Megatron, he was D16. And Optimus Prime was Orion Pax, and Bumblebee, I think, was B something, and Elita 1. And they all had these little cavities in their chests where they're supposed to be a transformation cog, and that does play into Transformers lore since Generation 1, namely the first cartoon series. In Season 3, they did a couple episodes where they talked about the transformation cog, but that was more for the Autobot City and Decepticon City, Trypticon and Metroplex, and they're battling for the cogs and getting them fixed, and Hoover got the cog incorrectly won the battle, which ended up being Metroplex. But they made that more the centripetal topic in Transformers 1 movie, where the cog was what Transformers were all about. So if you didn't have a cog, you were a non-transforming transformer, and if you had a cog, you were a transformer that could transform into a weapon or a vehicle, and you're much larger and bigger than non-transforming transformers. Well, Megatron, Optimus, Bumblebee, and Elita 1 got their hands on some matrices pretty late in the movie, and they got the ability to transform. But not only did that, it increased their strength and their size, so they're much larger than their non-transforming versions, which was really cool. And as the movie progressed, and this movie, I believe, was more of a story on Megatron, to be honest. And Megatron and Optimus Prime, Elita 1, and Bumblebee discovered the truth of what was actually happening. And the way Optimus Prime and Megatron handled it differently. Megatron was more the tragic hero, where he felt that he had to correct the situation by his means, and he let his anger take over. And his tactics were much different than Optimus Prime's, where Megatron wanted to destroy everyone and just make it right. And that fueled him, and as he progressed, he got more powerful, and even his eyes turned red, which is a trademark for the Decepticons, and he became Megatron through his anger. And he had like the Darth Vader treatment, the Thanos treatment, where Darth Vader and Thanos weren't exactly bad villains because they thought they were doing the right thing. It's just their tactics were not correct. Like Thanos, I mean, what he was doing, he was doing it for humanity, but his means of doing it were very, very evil. And same for Megatron. He just was so angry that he could not let his anger go, much like Darth Vader did in the Star Wars series. But I'm going to bring in Optimus Prime, because Megatron is such a diverse. I mean, they did a great job writing the movie, and like I mentioned, story of Megatron, and you know, Megatron and Optimus were best friends, and they found out the truth together, and the way Optimus handled it was different than the way Megatron handled it, and they kind of went their separate ways, and they had their battle, and Optimus Prime let Megatron go, but Megatron actually got a cool one-liner out of that movie, because throughout the course of time, I mean, Transformers have been around for 40 years, so Optimus Prime has his slogans, like Transformer roll out, one shall stand, one shall fall. Well, Megatron, over time, has gotten a couple, like, I mean, Generation 1ers know this one, Decepticons Retreat. I mean, you had Hail Megatron, and you also had Decepticons Rise Up. That was a big one from an animated series. Well, this one, he came up with a line that was just kind of like, it was very touching, and it changed the tone of the movie, where he does, throughout the course of the movie, save Optimus Prime, and the one final time he saved Optimus Prime, he let him go, and he told Optimus Prime, I'm done saving you. And that's where Optimus Prime went through his huge change. I mean, the movie was fantastic. You got to check it out. But I'm going to put Optimus Prime off the side, because I want to go and talk about Megatron. Megatron is a great figure, great mold detail, a lot of great paint detail, a lot of great paint deco. Even the face got that treatment, where he's got that metallic silver paint for his face. You got the red eyes, which is Decepticon trademark. You got the red paint, which is trademark from Megatron. The scheme kind of matched Generation 1. Like I said, I don't know about the backpack yet. And once I find that correction, I'll probably display Megatron with or without it, depending on what he looks like in the movie. Very nicely done figure. Lots of points of articulation. You have a ball socket joint for the head, but since the head has like a helmet on the top, it doesn't really tilt too much. So it goes side to side. You got ball socket joints for the shoulders, double jointed elbow. You have wrist articulation, you have waist articulation, hip articulation, you have knee articulation, and ankle articulation. Very nicely done figure. Lots of points of articulation, as opposed to G1 where you only had like maybe 4 if you're lucky. But this figure is fantastic. Megatron for me was my favorite character in Transformers 1 movie. It was so so well written. It kind of like, it made you feel bad for Megatron because he was just so consumed by his anger. But a great figure, great character, and if you're a fan of the movie, and if you're just a Transformers fan, pick this guy up. But if you guys found any of the information in this review valuable, please like and share this video. Also, if you really enjoy my content, please subscribe to my channel, and while you're there, click the bell to be notified of any future videos. I want to thank you guys for watching Steele's Awesome Toy Collector Review. I'll check you guys out next time.